Welcome to NuttieBuddie Entertainment.
Okay, let's get another good from Luke. Luke, you got a good?
Of course I have good things, Ryan. I have many things still. So I really liked how Jedi like Luminara and do it like that. This is the first we see of her. I thought that was cool that they kind of gave us some Jedi that maybe we haven't seen in action at all. That we then got fleshed out in other forms of Star Wars media, which was pretty cool. I really liked the Jedi conversations. Well, hold on. I really liked Yoda, first of all. So I don't know. I did not listen to sorry, I didn't listen to any of your guys' episode 1 discussion. So
get off, Luke. Yeah, that's okay.
Did you talk about how Puppet Yoda was the thing in the first movie originally? Did you guys talk about that?
I think briefly we might have talked about him. Yeah.
So we had CGI. Puppet Yoda. We didn't get CGI Yoda until this movie. And so Yoda looked so awesome. And so every moment that Yoda was on the screen was really cool. And I remember when Anakin was going through it and he was having such extreme, painful things. And then you saw Yoda's facial expression. It was really cool to see how Yoda is so connected to the Force. And then it was also really cool just to see him reacting to things because we had just seen this puppet of him, which I'm sure was really well done for puppet work. But just to see like him actually being like the version that we know now, that just when you think of Yoda, that's what we think of. That was really cool. So I got that in my good as well. But then I guess I like the interactions between Yoda and Mace Windu and Obi-Wan when they're talking and when they're going about, and throughout the movie, they're questioning their ability to use the Force, and they're trying to figure things out and they don't really know what's going on. I thought all that was really cool because it all leads to the downfall in episode 3. So I thought that was good.
So I'm going to piggyback on your point because one of the good I have, and this might be controversial, maybe hot take. The Jedi Order was good to me in this one. The last movie, I didn't care. Like we talked about Phantom Menace, obviously there was a lot of like, why are they these good guys? But what George Lucas obviously was trying to do is make us understand why the Jedi Order, even though they were around for 1,000 years. I think I said last time 10,000. I meant 1,000. The Republic has been around for 1,000 years. So they have arrogance to them. And we see that throughout this movie. It's funny how they didn't trust politics, but they got involved in politics. Like they didn't trust in politicians, but they got involved in politics. I was like, oh, that's weird. They didn't listen to Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan tried to tell him that Anakin wasn't ready for his own mission. So he's like, the council already decided. So it showed like they thought they knew better than Obi-Wan, which I thought, well, that kind of goes, what George is trying to tell in this story. Let's see. Yoda recognized their arrogance, and even the librarian for the Jedi Temple was very arrogant. Remember, she's like, well, if it's not in our records, and it doesn't exist, and walks away. I was like, oh, he's capturing this. And then when Padme said, I think it was Count Dooku that's trying to kill me, he's like, the Jedi Order is like, it was a former Jedi, not a murderer or whatever, so like they
simply
just
not in his nature.
Right, exactly. Okay, that's what he said. So it just showed like the arrogance that they had, and they kind of, even though they knew they were being arrogant, they like didn't know how to stop themselves from being arrogant because it's like they've been arrogant for so long, which is kind of interesting. The reason why this is the good and not like the great for me is because there was way too much meditating. Like there was a big problem going on throughout the galaxy, and Yoda and Mace Windu are just like meditating on things, which are your two most powerful Jedi. You would think that they would be like, hey, maybe we should get involved here and try to track down a bounty hunter or protect Padme or whatever the case may be. So for that, I had the Jedi Order as a good that for me personally. Is that a hot take?
That's that may have been a good, just a good for you, but that was some great analysis.
Oh, thank you.
I had never thought of before.
Great job, Ryan.
Thank you. I was
Let's
looking
end the podcast on that.
boom, boom.
All good stuff. And done. And scene. All right, see ya. I got one more good. Good. That's a very random good. You guys know that when they're in the battle of the Geonosis and they got Obi-Wan and Mace Windu and they're like back to back deflecting. So first of all, I like that shot. Second of all, do you remember that it was in the Burger King commercial for all the Burger King toys back then? And do you guys have any of those still?
I don't.
I'd have to go look in the attic. I have one of those still in the package. I don't remember.
Right along with the NSYNC toys they had from Burger King too.
Dude,
what about Wild West?
They had Backstreet Boys ones too, right? Because I would collect those. Nick Carter was like a samurai or something like that, or
yes,
ninja. Yeah. Oh man, good days. Brian, you got another good for us?
Yeah, the Obi-Wan and Jango Fett fight scene was really well done. I enjoyed that. It was a little ridiculous that he got like blown up 3 times and didn't die, but altogether that was a really cool scene, especially like in the rain and like trying to flee. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And then
I think Chris is going to add that to your point. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I thought that scene that was fine. It could have been better. I thought there was a little bit of awkward CGI parts where like when like Obi-Wan like jumps in the air and like meets him halfway and kicks him. It seemed a little off to me. Like your brain knows that something isn't right here. I do like the structure of the scene and like how it ended up. I just thought a little bit of the CGI was a little sloppy in that scene, but it's an okay scene.
Yeah, that's why it's in my good. I enjoyed that out of the other battle scenes that we had. But my other thing with Jango Fett's armor, it like in that battle scene, you could see it like rippling a little bit, which like kind of unnerved me because it's like it's not supposed to move like that. We have, the Boba Fett series. It's supposed to be Beskar, but yeah, it just looked, I don't know, for the fight scene, they might have just put like, plastic or something on it. And yeah, it just looked weird, but altogether, I like that scene. And then we had mentioned it in the Great before, but the relationship between Anakin and Kenobi was fun. Just that master-student relationship that they had. I didn't mind that. So I'm grasping for straws here, Ryan. I'm trying to be good. All right.
No, I was gonna say I might be in the minority there, but I'm gonna touch on that a little bit. Their relationship.
How dare you? How dare you? It was excellent. Excellent. Get out of here with that.
I'll explain why. Well, see, I had one great thing like argument. Now I'm gonna have a real bad one later on. I gotta balance it out. Travis, you got another good for us?
Going back to Dooku and Yoda fighting, I thought when basically Dooku was already like, all right, I just defeated Obi-Wan and Anakin, so Yoda's probably not going to be a problem for me either. And then he tries to force lightning him with his crooked fingers. And then he didn't expect Yoda to just catch it and send it back to him. I thought that was awesome. I wish there would have been more of like a force power battle that went on longer. But I thought that blew my mind right there when I was a kid watching that.
Well, how does he say? It's like, much you learn, you still have, or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, good times. No, I like that scene. Yeah, I think they kind of just knew though, like it wasn't going to be solved by the Force. Remember, he said, well, this thing could be solved by using the Force, but maybe saber combat or whatever he said. Let's see. I'll do another good. Anakin's fits of anger. I actually like that because it showed that he had that dark side lurking in him. The reason why I just have that as a good, and we'll get into it when we move forward, but I just thought it was like a little too on the nose. It throughout the whole movie, it was just too on the nose. Like, this guy's going to be bad. There's no way he's not going to be bad. I wish they would have kind of tried to have him hide it, but I like Luke mentioned the Tusken Raider, that whole sequence. I like that. I like how mad he was, and it showed that he had that darkness in him. So I'm gonna say that was part of my good, is his fits of anger. Luke?
I liked how they tried to, or they didn't try, they did. They showed that it was something he was struggling with, though. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he was just giving into all these fits of anger. Like he talked about at the beginning of the movie how he was having dreams about his mother, right before they met Padme and Jar Jar. By the way, way less Jar Jar. Good. That's a great actor. We missed that.
That is great, but he's still ugly.
Okay, but I'm just saying we missed that. But then later when he's on Naboo with watching Padme, when he's sleeping at night, he has those nightmares, and when she wakes up, he's standing there and she's like, "You had a nightmare." He goes like, "Jedi don't have night." Like he's trying to.
I hated that line.
I know, but he's trying. It showed. I also do. The dialogue's terrible, but he's trying his best to do the right thing. But it's a struggle, and I thought that they did portray that. They didn't just. I agree with you. It was on the nose, but they did show that he's doing what he can. He knows what he's supposed to do, but he doesn't feel like he knows he's supposed to. That's something I think people can relate to. Which I remember when I was a kid watching it, I thought, man, I feel bad for this guy. Now, when you get older, you look at it and it's like, well, the lines are dumb. But at the time, that's not how it felt when I watched it. It did its job, I guess.
That's fair, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you said that there. Well, we'll talk into it a little bit more with the relationship thing, but I also did feel bad for him. What you were talking about, I had written down. I'm not going to put it in a good, so I'm going to do a different category and say interesting, for reasons we'll also talk about more with the relationship thing. But the scene after he kills the Tusken Raiders and then he has his meltdown in front of Padme, I think that's probably Hayden Christensen's best scene in the movie. I think he plays it really interesting because I wrote down self-loathing that he wasn't able to save his mother, shame that he did what he did, and also the pressure because he's like, I'm supposed to be better. I'm supposed to be the greatest Jedi ever. It's like he's sort of like he's being told that he's the balance of the Force. He's the fulfillment of the prophecy. So he's not allowing himself to not be perfect because he has to live up to this reputation. So I actually thought the writing and the portrayal in that scene was pretty good. So.
Yeah, that's the one scene I like. Kind of, obviously the dialogue could have been better, but that's the one scene I really liked. I just thought and we'll talk about it, but the rest of the movie, it was just like he was like, even when he first met Padme and like Padme's packing and he's like, he's overcritical. He's holding me back. He's yelling at, about Obi-Wan, that he's holding him back and just yelling about him. Like, can you at least pretend like you're trying to be a Jedi, or trying to be.
Yeah. And like moments before he said how lucky it is to have Obi-Wan as his master. And then he just like,
It just kind of came. Well, he's supposed. Well, okay, we'll get into it. We're still on the good. Yeah, we're still on the good. Any other good, guys? Any other good? Go ahead, Chris. We'll let you do it. Thanks for watching this clip of our movie review for Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. If you'd like to listen to more of our thoughts with the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly, go ahead and look at the description below. There'll be links to the podcast, and you can go to the podcast feed to find other reviews of TVs, shows, and movies that we have done. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Instagram at NuttieBuddie_entertainment when I drop podcasts. And that's all I got for you. Thanks so much again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.